Can everybody hear me? We're going to get started here. Okay, everybody can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you all so much for coming out today. It's a beautiful day in Mead Park here in Corry. My name is Amanda Harkness. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a program coordinator at the Northwest Pennsylvania Tobacco Control Program at the Erie County Department of Health. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for coming out and joining us in celebrating Corry's tobacco-free parks and play areas through the Young Lungs at Play program. When I first approached the Corry City Council about participating in Young Lungs at Play, I reminded them that children learn by watching adults. Of all the things that we want our children to learn from us, smoking shouldn't be one of them. This year, over 15,000 children in Pennsylvania will become new daily smokers. When children see adults smoking in family-friendly parks and recreational areas, they see the behavior as acceptable and normal, and are therefore more likely to try experimenting with tobacco use in the future. Tobacco-free parks and recreational areas, like those now in Corry, help to promote positive, healthy behaviors in children, while also protecting them from the poisonous and cancer-causing chemicals that are found in secondhand smoke. As adults, parents, grandparents, teachers, community leaders, and health officials, we have a responsibility to be role models of healthy behaviors to the children and youth in our lives and in our communities. After all, as every parent knows, children learn by imitating adult behaviors. By creating healthy environments to live and play, we can help give children the best opportunity for a healthy future. We have several speakers here today that would like to help me in acknowledging the City of Corry for their role in protecting children from secondhand smoke and tobacco use in areas where they play. Our first speaker is the Director of the Erie County Department of Health, Mr. Andy Glass.
Thank you very much, Amanda. You know, I always wondered why it is that you get an applause before you go up and say what you're going to say, and maybe not afterwards, because that's the next person. But anyhow, I'm glad to be here. I'm very glad to be here. And I come to you as a representative of Erie County, as the director of the Erie County Department of Health, and also as a citizen of Erie County. You're about to hear many comments and facts about the impact of smoking and tobacco on our health, but most importantly, about the impact on our youth. What I have to say is simple. I commend you, elected officials, on what you have undertaken in adopting Young Lungs at Play. I commend you, the citizens of Corry, for adopting the policy that prohibits smoking on city-owned parkland, park facilities, open space, or joint city-Corry school district properties. You are leaders in Erie County. You have set a standard for others to follow and should be proud of what you have done. I commend you. And with that, I present Representative Kurt Sonny, an individual who is well known to the citizens of Corry and certainly a friend of Corry.
Thank you. And I too would like to commend the City of Corry. You know, one of the core functions of government obviously is the safety of its citizens, and it is our children that that need that protection the most. You know, as adults, we know what the dangers of smoking are. We've heard it many, many, many times. We've read it and we've saw it. But children, especially young children, they don't know. They don't know. If they see you doing it, they can assume that it must be okay. You know, our children are innocent. They wouldn't think that we would do things that would harm us, but that's what smoking does. And so any initiative that we can do and that we can strive for that keeps people from smoking to begin with. And one of the ways to do that, obviously, is to just keep them away from it. And what better place to keep them away from it than in an open space area and in a park, in a place that they should be able to come and enjoy and be safe. And as parents, you should be able to know that your children will be safe when they're at the city park just having fun. So I think it's a great initiative. You know, the smoking cessation has been going on for a long time, and they continually reach out into our schools because they know the importance of stopping it before it starts. So it's just a great partnership between the Smoking Cessation Group, Erie County Department of Health, and the City of Corry. And it's really nice to see the city again out in the forefront of an initiative that hopefully will catch on in Erie County. So great job. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker drove all the way from Harrisburg to recognize the city of Corry for protecting children from secondhand smoke in parks and play areas. He is the director of the Bureau of Health Promotion and Risk Reduction at the Pennsylvania Department of Health, Mr. Tomas Aguilar.
Thanks, everybody, and I apologize, but I have a whole folder full of things to talk about. No, I'm just kidding. They gave me about 3.5 pages of things to talk about, and as I read through this, I thought, well, that's almost a little silly. You know, if I'm talking to the kids and I'm talking to our children, I'm not going to go through a 3-page speech and tell them some things that their parents are already teaching them about how to be healthy and to make good choices. I work in a bureau that it's called the Bureau of Health Promotion and Risk Reduction. And when I first got there and I started looking at this name, I said to myself, what in the world is this? This doesn't fit on a business card. It doesn't fit anywhere else. But what I started to find out is that it's about building programs, and it's about the individuals that work in our office that I have the privilege of watching every day pour in their heart, pour in their passion, and develop programs just like this Young Lungs at Play. Young Lungs at Play is really designed to help the children to try to find a place where they can go out and do exactly what this young girl did. I want everybody to do that at some point, to be free to run somewhere and be safe and be healthy. Everybody knows that when you're out in the park and you're out running around, you're not just sitting around on the bench doing nothing. You're standing up, you're running, you're opening up your lungs. Just like a world-class athlete, when they work out, their lungs are wide open. So to have smoke kind of hanging around somewhere, that just basically throws it right into the lungs that are wide open looking for fresh air. So to do something like this, Corry should be congratulated. Along with the 450 others, Corry's not the first, but Corry is the next in a long line of cities, towns, municipalities, schools, school districts, that are taking a stand. The City Council of Corry should be proud of themselves. The citizens of Corry should be proud of their council. Taking a stand like this is not an easy thing. There are smokers out there who are probably going to say, you're telling me I can't smoke. We're not telling you that. It's not about being punitive. It's not about being negative to people that smoke. It's about looking out for the kids. And whether you're a smoker or you're not a smoker, you are looking out for your kids. Everybody does. You walk through a park, you walk through the street, your toddler who's 1 year old, just figuring out how to walk, looks at something that's about this far from their head, picks it up and says something about, points it at you, and you say, ooh, gross, throw it away, it's a cigarette butt. That's what we're trying to remove from here and every other park in the city of Corry. Those kinds of things we need to stop in some way or another, and when the parents do those kind of things, that helps everybody. With a quick show of hands, if you're under 18, do you have a cell phone? Raise your hand. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, parents, do you really want your kids to have cell phones? Maybe 5 years ago you thought, they don't need a cell phone. They don't need a smartphone. But Amanda talked a little bit ago about how parents influence what kids do. Well, I'm going to kind of do a counter to that argument. Kids, you tell your parents, this is what I want. And in many respects, some kids are telling their parents, don't smoke. I want to go someplace where there's not smoking. I invite all the kids to go out and tell their parents, I don't want to be in a place where there's not one of these signs out there. Kids can influence. My kids convinced me a few years ago they needed a cell phone, despite my best efforts. And a couple years after that, they convinced me they needed a smartphone. Lord knows why. Those phones just take pictures, they text. I don't know how many times they make a phone call. But the kids, you guys are the ones who are going to convince your parents of how to stay healthy, how to stay active, how to eat well, and how to not smoke or pick up a can of snuff or can of chew. Using tobacco products is harmful to you, it's harmful to your parents, and that's what doing these things like we do today is about. I want to thank Amanda. She's done some great work getting this all put together. I want to thank the mayor, the city council. They've done a great job. I'd be remiss without talking about the district executive, Dennis. You've done a great job out here too, and I appreciate it. And really, I really want to thank you parents for bringing your kids out today. This is incredibly important. Corry, you should be congratulated, and I really appreciate it. So Mayor, I've got a little couple things for you if you've got a minute. I see something else coming. We're going to start with the first thing. All right. First one is the sign that's going to go up. Nice steel sign that's going to sit in place. Mary, you can choose where you want to put it. Outside, I think is probably the best place. Remembering that there are young kids out here at play.
That is absolutely beautiful.
Thank
you very much.
You're certainly welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We appreciate this. Sure.
One more? Lots of prizes. This is a certificate of recognition awarded to the City of Corry, Erie County, Pennsylvania, for your efforts to protect the health of children and families by preventing tobacco exposure in public settings through the Young Lungs at Play program. This is signed by Secretary Michael Wolf, the Secretary of the Department of Health for the state of Pennsylvania. Congratulations. Thank you all very much for coming. Turn it back over to Amanda.
Got the obligatory question. Do you want to say anything? Sure. There's not much to add to the facts and the figures, but basically it's this. Our kids live outside, or should be. Ought to give them a good place to play. Ought to give them a place where they can take and fill their lungs. I heard that. We're investing in their future. We're investing in our future. When I heard the city council and what they had to say about it, it's great. We've had public lobbyists for years to take it, and can you do some things here to improve the smoking in public? Well, this is an improvement. This is much better. And the other thing we can do is council, we can lead by example. And this is an example. Welcome to Mead Park, City of Corry. And thank you so much, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor Sanford. Before we wrap up, I just have a couple of thank yous that I would like to say. I'd like to say thank you again to Mayor Sanford and Corry City Council for your support and collaboration with making Young Lungs at Play a success and a part of Corry. I'd also like to say a special thank you to Corry City Councilman Jason Mon, who has gone out of his way to help plan, promote, and to make this presentation a success, so thank you. I'd like to say thank you again to all of our speakers, Mr. Andy Glass, Representative Curtis Sunny, and Mr. Tomas Aguilar, for being here today and helping to applaud Corry's efforts in creating tobacco-free parks and recreational areas for children. Thank you also to Dave Popovich at Great Lakes Screen Printing for the Young Lungs at Play t-shirts that you see the children wearing. Thank you to Jamie Petrish, who is here and has some magical activities for the children after we're finished here. And I would also like to thank Jason and Janet Mon and Nancy and Lynn Dingfelder for the beautiful chalk drawing of the Young Lungs at Play sign. So thank you all again for coming out. Thank you for showing your support to the city of Corry. And we hope you have fun in your tobacco-free parks. Thank you for coming.